Most of the change we think we see in life is due to truths being in and out of favor. Poetry is a way of taking life by the throat. Education doesn't change life much. It just lifts trouble to a higher plane of regard. Nothing gold can stay. My goal in life is to unite my avocation with my vocation, as my two eyes make one in sight. Writing free verse is like playing tennis with the net down. For I have had too much of apple packing, I am overtired of the great harvest I myself desired. So was I once myself a swinger of birches. And so I dream of going back to be. Hope is not found in a way out but a way through. For dear me, why abandon a belief merely because it ceases to be true? What is done for the love of it or not really done at all. A poet never takes notes. You never takes notes in a love affair. You, of course, are a rose. But we're always a rose. Being the boss anywhere is lonely. Being a female boss in a world of mostly men is essentially so. I would not come in. I meant not even if asked, and I hadn't been. What we live by we die by. A poem begins in delight and ends in wisdom. The hurt is not enough, I long for weight and strength. To feel the earth as rough to all my length. Nobody was ever meant to remember or invent what he did with that every cent. I dwell with a strangely acting heart in that vanished abode there far apart. Life must be kept up to a great roll in order to absorb any considerable amount of learning. I dwell in a lonely house I know that vanished many summer ago. In 3 words I can sum up everything I've learned about life, it goes on. So down goes down today. Nothing gold can stay. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. Never be bullied into silence. Never allow yourself to be made a victim. Accept no one's definition of your life. Define yourself. We love the things we love for what they are. Our very life depends on everything's recurring till we answer from within. A poem begins as a lump in the throat, a sense of wrong, a homesickness, a lovesickness. Freedom lies in being bold. 2 roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. Happiness makes up in height for what it lacks in length. The best way out is always through. Poetry is what gets lost in translation. If we couldn't laugh we would all go insane. No tears in the writer, no tears in the reader. No surprise in the writer. No surprise in the reader. Forgive, O Lord, my little jokes on thee and I'll forgive thy great big one on me. Home is the place where, when you have to go there, they have to take you in. I am not a teacher, but an awakener. Don't ever take a fence down until you know why it was put up. Forgive me my nonsense, as I also forgive the nonsense of those who think they talk sense. A diplomat is a man who always remembers a woman's birthday but never remembers her age. I'm not confused. I'm just well mixed. Dancing is a vertical expression of a horizontal desire. Poetry is when an emotion has found its thought and the thought has found words. A mother takes 20 years to make a man of her boy, and another woman makes a fool of him in 20 minutes. There is one thing more exasperating than a wife who can cook and won't, and that's a wife who can't cook and will. To be a poet is a condition, not a profession. I hold it to be the inalienable right of anybody to go to hell in his own way. How many things have to happen to you before something occurs to you? The afternoon knows what the morning never suspected. How many things would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? Something we were withholding made us weak, until we found it was ourselves. A jury consists of 12 persons chosen to decide who has the better lawyer. The world is full of willing people, some willing to work, the rest willing to let them. The reason why worry kills more people than work is that more people worry than work. We dance round in a ring and suppose, but the secret sits in the middle and knows. Thinking is not to agree or disagree. That's voting. We ran as if to meet the moon. Before I built a wall I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out. The middle of the road is where the white line is. And that's the worst place to drive. A person will sometimes devote all his life to the development of one part of his body, the wishbone. By faithfully working 8 hours a day you may eventually get to be boss and work 12 hours a day. Unless you are educated in metaphor, you are not safe to be let loose in the world. I believe in teaching, but I don't believe in going to school. A liberal is a man too broad-minded to take his own side in a quarrel. Oh, come forth into the storm and rout and be my love in the rain. Families break up when they get hints you don't intend and miss hints that you do. A civilized society is one which tolerates eccentricity to the point of doubtful sanity. Every poem is a momentary stay against the confusion of the world. Anything more than the truth would be too much. Come over the hills and far with me and be my love in the rain. Good fences make good neighbors.